Hello everyone, my name is NewFlowerGirl, but you can call me Demi, and welcome back to another Aftertalk video. And yes, today we are with a webcam because, well, we have a little guest here. I'm not sure how well you guys can see her, but you can probably hear her. We have Dancer in my room, and main reason because this month and beginning of next month we are gonna have a little renovation, so I offered Dancer a place in my room. And she has been very noisy, like running in a wheel, but she's been a very good girl so far. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Formula 1, about what happened in April. There were only 2 races, technically 3 if you count sprint. But yeah, we are going to go and talk about what happened in April. So let's go. Which Grand Prix are we going to talk about? Well, we are going to talk about the Formula 1 MSC Cruise Japanese Grand Prix. And we're going to talk about the F1 Lenovo Chinese Grand Prix. Yes, they went back there. And it was hell. It wasn't hell, it was amazing. It was wonderful. And action-packed, actually. We're going to also go over some photos. I've picked 3 out. Sort of the best that I could find. That perfectly explain what happened, where the chaos, basically, they're just chaotic photos, okay? We're going to go over the driver standings, going to go over the constructor standings, and then where they are going to go to in May. So, first of all, we're going to go to Japan. Well, this is the track. It is kind of familiar for long-term fans. This is Suzuka. And Suzuka has been on F1 for a long time. I can just see her moving. She's waiting for her snacks. Normally when I sit here, work on my computer, she just goes for snacks. She'll get some at the end. She's got her favorite ones, which are basically these mealworms. She loves them. And dried veggies and fruits, but she'll get them at the end. But yeah, this is Suzuka. Yeah, this basically goes over the top of this. I believe it was made by the same guy as who made Zandvoort, I think. But yeah, the track is beautiful, but it does kind of. It is kind of a track with a lot of memories, both good and bad. If you know, you know what I mean. This year it would be 10 years ago that accident happened with Jules Bianchi in turn 7, where he slid under a tow truck. But yeah, it was a rainy Friday. It was very rainy. And yeah, it was just rainy. Not a lot of action. During the race, they only got to 3 corners before the red flag was called, because Albon and Ricciardo crashed. Basically, Ricciardo didn't see that Albon was on the right of him, and somewhat turned in. Yeah, he basically turned. He didn't turn in. He just steered towards the side and hit Albon, hit the suspension so Albon couldn't steer, and then they both crashed. And the red flag was called. Sargent spun during the race, but he was able to get going. Red Bull got maximum points. If you don't know what maximum points is in the Formula 1, it's basically a 1-2, and the number 1 has the fastest lap, which is 1 point extra. So yeah, that's that. Something I find worth noting: Russell forced Piastri off track, and he wasn't penalised for it. And I think that's just wrong. If you force someone off track to overtake, then you need penalty. And apparently that is 10 seconds. Yeah, it's 10 seconds, by the way, to just get that. Yeah, insane, right? Carlos Sainz got on the podium. I believe so far he's been the only driver who's gone onto the podium, speaking in Japan, right? Yeah, speaking from the time when they were in Japan, At that point, Sainz was the only driver who had been on the podium in every single one of those races, which is insane. And worth noting that Yuki Tsunoda scored points, the first Japanese scored points for the first time in 12 years. I cannot remember who it was. But yeah, if you know who it was, then let me know in the comments down below. And then we're going to China. So this is the Shanghai International Circuit. They haven't been there since the 1000th Grand Prix. I legit have that book somewhere. Right here. I legit have the book of 1000 Grand Prix. Yeah. I have a lot of history books about F1. And I have one about MotoGP as well. And then I also have like a couple of yearbooks. Yeah. Also one of the 50s. But this is a Shanghai International Circuit. It has one really long straight here. This is a hairpin. Another hairpin. This was like the hotspot in overtaking. And this is just one very long turn, and it doesn't seem to end when you drop there. The track, to me, it has a lot of character. I like it. And yeah, let's see what happens. So, of course, it was sprint weekend. So, they changed the format again. And I think they need to change it again because this format it sucks. So basically, Friday you have FP1 and sprint quali. On Saturday morning you have the sprint race and then the quali for the main race. Basically the time when qualifying normally is. And then Sunday feature race. My opinion, this is going to go into the bin because it's terrible. Take a notice from MotoGP. The way they've done their sprint races, sprint weekends, which is basically every single weekend. But they do, Friday is all about practice. Friday FP1 and FP2. Saturday morning, qualifying for both races. Saturday afternoon, sprint race, and then Sunday the feature race. I feel like that is a way better way of sprint weekend because you don't lose as much time. And if they don't want to do that, then make FP1 like 3 hours, so that minimal time is lost even when there is a red flag. Hamilton was strong in sprint quali because he nearly got pole. It went to Lando, by the way, but he wasn't as strong as quali for main race or main quali. Well, like I said, Lando got pole for sprint. It was deemed that it was first like he doesn't have pole, but basically his time got deleted because he went off track in the last corner. And apparently it's the rule that if you go off track in the last corner, if you have track limits there, then that lap and the lap, the next following lap gets both deleted. But Lando didn't actually gain time for his pole lap. He actually lost 0.3 of a second. And how do I know this? Both McLaren and the FIA had the numbers, and I heard it in a video of someone of a group who basically talk about all of this, just like I do, but I do it every month and they do it like after every day of session and stuff. And yeah, that's why I heard it, and it makes sense. Like if you don't lose time but your time gets deleted, then it gets reinstated, and that's what happened. There was a grass fire. Yeah, twice. They were both on Friday. One of them was in FP1 and one of them was in sprint quali. It was so weird. Like all of a sudden the grass was on fire, And the weird thing is, like, the grass, it wasn't dry. It wasn't dry at all. Because it had been raining in Shanghai the majority of Wednesday. And it had been humid, the sun wasn't shining at all. So, what other logical explanation was there? Well, apparently there's a lot of methane gas in the ground there. And that may have caught fire. And those are the sparks flying everywhere. That could have also been a cause. They still don't know yet. During the sprint race, it was Ferrari versus Ferrari. It ended well. Both Ferraris still finished the race in points. Alonso was penalized for allegedly forcing Carlos Sainz off track. He got 10 seconds. It's way too much. And penalty points. He has even right now threatened to not race the next race. Yeah. He's threatened to do that because he thinks it's unacceptable. I do kind of stand with Alonso because they gotta race. I mean, come on. You gotta let them do racing, you know. Besides, they both, well, I say they both finished, but Alonso retired in the end because he had a puncture. But yeah, the Sainz's car wasn't significant, wasn't like damaged that badly. Also, Dancer is asleep right now, I think. She might come back in a bit, we don't know. Also, Carlos Sainz had a crash in main quali. He basically crashed coming out of turn 16. Well, let's say that he only lost the nose. He only lost front wing. The rest was fine. He was able to limp back to the pits, like not going against traffic. He just went around the whole track showing everyone how how durable a Ferrari is. And yeah, he made it back to the pits and he got into Q3. Mind you, the crash happened in Q2. Yeah. But anyway, Max Verstappen won the sprint race from P4. Yeah. Hamilton actually started P2 in a sprint. And in my opinion, he did force Lando off. Which is naughty, in my opinion. Which basically made it so Lando couldn't do anything other than follow. But Max was a beast. There wasn't any more space here, so I had to get rid of the picture. But on Sunday, Max Verstappen won the race. Lando Norris got a podium. There were 2 safety cars. The first one was because of Valtteri Bottas. He had engine failure, stopped on track, and that was the first safety car. The second safety car was caused by chaos caused by Lance Stroll, which damaged both Oscar and Danny Rick's car. Ricciardo's car was damaged even worse because he had to retire. In the pictures, I'll show you guys what happened. Because we got a picture from what it looked like on Stroll's TV cam. Yuki and Kevin both collided. Yuki was out. He got a puncture. He managed to get his car back to the railing, back to safety, which didn't cause an as long safety car, but the race was kind of longer than expected. Hamilton couldn't get past Oscar's significantly damaged MCL. So in that incident with Stroll and Ricciardo, Ricciardo's front wing was almost tucked under Oscar's car. And basically, in that moment, Oscar's diffuser on the car, it was damaged. Like, you could actually see bits dangling loose. But Hamilton couldn't get past. That just shows that McLaren are still strong. They're stronger than Mercedes. Faster than Mercedes, I should say. Even with a damaged car. Sargent, Stroll and Magnussen were penalised. They all got 10 seconds. They don't do 5 seconds anymore. They don't do that anymore. They only do 10 seconds. That's the minimum what you can get. I believe Sargent got it for speeding in the pit lane or something. Or no, not pit lane. He got safety car infringement. Basically, you have safety car lines on the track, and you can't. Basically, that's to determine who is at front. When one of the drivers came out of the pits, he was in front, but Sargent overtook them anyway. That's what the penalty was for. And Stroll and Magnussen were penalised for their collisions. Worth to mention that Zhou Guanyu had finally gotten his home Grand Prix after after he joined in 2022. And let's say he was emotional at the end. He didn't get any points, but it was a great memory for him. He used to go to that track as a kid, and now he got to drive there. Let me tell you, if that happened to me, I would have been emotional too. And I'm guessing you guys would as well. But yeah, the photos. This is a photo from Albon and Ricciardo's crash. Albon was basically tucked under the tyre barrier. It's insane. They went pretty fast. And Williams still don't have their third chassis. And I can hear her munching on things. I can just hear her munching on things. Well, I'll let you guys say what you want to say, but I think Stroll should get replaced by Felipe Drugovich. Yeah. You know what this kind of reminds me of, that picture? Kind of reminds me of what Daniel Ricciardo did when Max Verstappen was in front in Baku 2018. It's kind of the same thing. Only then at that point Max's engine was basically dead and they both spun out of competition. And yeah, that was the grass fire. That was a grass fire. It's just insane that this happens, right? And then there's still no logical explanation for why it happened. Now we're going to go to driver standings. Max Verstappen is the first to pass 100 points. He is at 110. Sergio Perez is then following with 85. Charles Leclerc is in third with 76. Sainz is getting haunted by 69, just like me. I see it absolutely everywhere. Legit, I see 69 absolutely everywhere. It's haunting. Lando Norris is not too far behind there with 58 points. And then we have Oscar Piastri, only 20 points behind that. And I think it's worth a mention. Look at this. Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren. Also, I should have told this at the previously in 2 slides back, but the podium for the main race was Verstappen, Norris, and Perez. Go back a few races, not too many. Go back to Hungary last year. That's the exact same podium. I'm not kidding. Thank you, Kaylee, for pointing that out, because it's insane. It's crazy. But yeah. In 7th, we have George Russell with 33. Then Fernando Alonso in 8th with the number that his former teammate at Alpine used to is racing with. Lewis Hamilton is at a place where he doesn't belong, in 9th with 19 points. In 10th we have Lance Stroll with 9 points, then Yuki Tsunoda with 7 points. Oliver Behrman still standing strong with 6 points, even though he can't get any more. Well, I'll say that. Probably jinxing it right now. Am I? Then we have Nico Hülkenberg with 4 points. Kevin Magnussen snatched 1 point during the Chinese Grand Prix, even though he had a penalty. And then we have Albon, Ocon, Zhou, Ricciardo, Gasly, Bottas and Sargent still on 0 points. Now we're going to go to the constructors. And this just goes perfectly, doesn't it? Just my face cam is just my face cam just fits in that gap, doesn't it? I didn't plan that whatsoever. But in first we have Red Bull Racing almost hitting 200 points. Then Ferrari with 151. McLaren with 96. Mercedes with 52. Aston Martin in 5th with 40 points. Nice round number, I like that. Then we have Racing Bulls with 7 points. Haas F1 team has 5 points. And then Williams, Alpine and Kick Sauber are on 0. I hope they get points soon. Well, where to next? Let me tell you. We are going to go to Miami, which is basically next week. Yeah, next week. It's Miami Grand Prix time. Yeah, the full name is Formula1Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix. The next one I really like, I think. I don't know again. Yeah, I really like this one because this is the longest one, the longest name. Formula 1 MSC Cruises Gran Premio del Made in Italy del Emilia Romagna. I like they put like the made in Italy in between, like, or the Italian. But that one is the 17th till the 19th of May. We're back in Europe, everyone. And then we're gonna go to Monaco. Yeah, we're gonna go to Monaco. Formula 1 Grand Prix de Monaco. Just basic. Just the basic name. But yeah, Monaco is the 24th to the 26th, which is, yeah, at the end of the month. So we have 3 races again. 4, technically. Perhaps more. I don't know. Let's go and check. Because I know Miami is a sprint weekend. I think. I don't know. I can't even remember. Racing. Miami. It's a sprint. Miami is a sprint race. And then Imola is a normal one. And then Monaco is also a normal one. So we have 4 races. So yeah. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then please hit the like button. Also consider subscribing if you don't want to miss any other aftertalks. But that's it from me for now. Dancer is not coming out right now. I'll give us snacks anyway from you guys. But yeah, that's it from me for now. And I'll just see you guys in another aftertalk or just any other video.